Hello and welcome to my channel. Now in true Monty Python fashion, time for something completely different. There are many that don't know and there are some that do know. I am 64 years old and I've been on a waiting list for an autism assessment for 2 years now. Why, you might say? Yes, it is questionable. If I've got this far in life, why do I need an assessment to tell me whether I am or I'm not? Actually, it's about piecing a puzzle together. It's about making or trying to make sense of my life, of things that have happened and not happened, and what I can and can't do, and why I am like I am. So, we get on the waiting list to go to the doctors. Came about by being actually in I talk therapy for general worry and anxiety, which one suffers from. So during that assessment, which was about a 16-week session, usually they're only 6 and then they give up on me, but this was a 16 one, and I was going well there. And it came up, I can't remember how, but it did. And we said, well, there's an awful lot of autism traits in me. But the lady herself couldn't refer me. She said, no, you've got to go to your doctors. He's the only one that can refer you for assessment. And at the time, I wasn't exactly getting on with the doctors. I'd fallen out with them because they said I was going too often. Possibly. But anyway, came home, looked it all up, did a lot of research on YouTube, got some books in, half a dozen books, read them like you would. And plucked up the courage, went to the doctors and said, right, I had it written down. Because I thought, don't you sort of get all tongue twisted when you actually want to talk to him. So I thought, well, I'll write it down like I always do. If there's something wrong with me, I'll write it down and take it in with me so I don't miss anything. You only get 10 minutes, so you want it all down in one go. Wrote it down, took it into him, and he didn't put up any fight whatsoever. I was ready for a fight. He didn't. He said, okay, I fill one form in that had 6 questions on it, and you had to get probably 6 of them, correct in his views, and then he would put you through. And he forwarded it. So we waited and waited. And then Basingstoke, which is apparently my nearest one, it's not, but that was the one that came through and said, okay, we'll put you on the waiting list. Got a letter from your doctor and we'll put it on the waiting list. So they did that. And I rang. Oh, you're still on the list. And I rang. Oh, it takes about 18 months. Oh. And I rang. And then eventually, with all this COVID lockdown, I thought, I just get on with it. So I rang the line and I couldn't get through. It was an answering machine. But what it was doing, it was giving you an email address that you could email and ask any questions to. Trouble was, I couldn't understand the email. I had John there with me, and we both listened. And it took us 6 times of ringing the number to actually get the email address out of them. So, right, after doing all that, I emailed over and said, where am I on the waiting list, by the way? And answer came back, I'm very sorry that you couldn't get through, you couldn't understand our email. We'll look into that. Be a good thing. You're very near the top. So you should be hearing from us within the next 2 months. Oh, well, that's an improvement. Okay, so I can stop watching every bit of post that comes in the door and catching every phone call that comes in. She said it would be a call from a private number, so you'd be able to tell by that. So the days pass, the weeks pass. Anyway, last Thursday, the phone goes. It's a private number. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, I'll answer it just because. Don't answer all of them because most of them are spam anyway, but I'll answer this one. Oh, this is the Autism Assessment Unit. We'd like to offer you a video conference call. Shock horror. Why? Because I'm not exactly good with these video things. Yes, I can make a video. I can tell stories on here. I can tell poetry on here. I can show you my crafts. But it's when somebody else is talking back to me, it's not that good. We did try it. We tried it with the family in the beginning of the lockdown. And I wasn't going too well. So we didn't do that. We just text or phoned. Anyway, I accepted the appointment. It's this coming Friday, the 7th, at 10 o'clock. It can last 2 to 3 hours. Wonderful. And we'll send you over an email, they said, with some forms to fill in before the day. Okay. So very next day, ping comes the email, and it's got 14 attachments. Now, I didn't have to panic. It was okay. There's only 7 to fill in. Only 7. So it took me the weekend to complete them. Bits that I'd missed, bits that I'd forgotten. And it's asking all these stupid questions. So I did try. John helped, and we got through them. And I sent them back Monday. It's now Wednesday. Nearly there. But anyway, unfortunately, the brain is running amok. What's it doing? Let me show you how it does it in crafts. You know me and my wall. So anyway, this, do you remember the old paper chains at Christmas? You used to make the chains and link them up. Yes. Then can't be quite that simple. So there's different walls. And then there's bits on the walls. And there's beads and things and buttons and doilies, more beads, lace to play with. I suppose it's just having something to keep my hands occupied. And I like the soft wall. I do like soft wall anyway. But I find if ever I'm pretty stressed, I'll either turn to drawing, which is obviously number one love. But in the evenings, it's wool and it's playing. So that was sort of one I was doing. Bit of a brain fuddle. But you see that I can do that in an evening. It's just instant. Then the other one was a book fiddle. Again, it's crochet. It opens. And in it, you've got any number of things to fiddle, touch, texture, whatever you want to call them. Like the little shoes. Lace, harp, buttons, different materials, even a zip. And yes, the zip works. There we go. When you don't catch the wool underneath it, it works. Up and down. Embellishments with beads on them. Where are we? Yep, we went that way, didn't we? And you actually get round to the back again. And it comes right round, does itself up. It's like a booklet, a purse. Something to fiddle with. Now, to be honest, I made both these in one day. I was putting the bits on the next day, but generally, I can knock these up in one day. Which can't be natural, can it? And your brain's just running amok. But they are something to fiddle with and keep me occupied. That's even watching telly. I can't just sit there and do nothing. I just need to be doing something with the hands. So anyway, this is part 1 of the assessment process. This is explaining how long I've waited, why I want to do it, and what this week's doing to me. I couldn't begin to tell you what the dreams are all doing. No, they are crazy. There's work, there's family, there's magazines in the water and having to dive for them. I don't dive, don't swim that much either. There's aeroplanes. I don't like those either too much. There's bosses from work that used to bully me. Clearly I don't like those either. So you can see the brain's a bit troubled. We'll get through it. As a great friend of mine, Iris, used to say, it will pass, Lenny. No doubt it will. Friday afternoon, it'll all be over. Whether they give me an answer or not. It does say on there that they'll email their report, or they could tell you there and then. Do you know, honestly, let me tell you, the worst thing they could say, it's not autism. Because then it's, well, what on earth has my life been about if it's not autism? So, fingers crossed, I get the results I want. I can't say that they can give me any help. I say that. I don't know. I don't know if there is any help for me left. Or I just accept how I am. Friends and family have to accept how I am. And we carry on. I create, I draw, I write poetry, I write stories, I knit Ronalds. I enjoy the outside, in the main, but when I'm not alone. No good alone. Can't go on transport, not alone. So, but at least now, should they say, yes, you're autistic, it might just give me some sort of peace to say, that's why I am like I am. As Popeye said, I am what I am. I don't mind having an autism positive assessment. Bring it on. So, this is my ramble up to the assessment. I hope it's just given you a bit of insight as to why somebody at my delicate age would want assessment. But there it is, I do, and I'm going for it. And let me tell you, if it's negative, I shall appeal. Because there's more to me than just being a bit cuckoo. In a nice way. Why would anybody have 52 Bibles? Why would anybody write over 700 poems? Why would anybody write over 70 Ronald stories? It's a bit excessive, a bit obsessive. And everything I make and do is to excess. I just can't stop. Ending on a positive note, it's going to be positive, they're going to sort me out, and my life will make sense. Bye for now. Do tune in for After the Assessment.